Good morning, friends. Hello there. Just seeing your note, friend, Faith, home after successful surgery. Good, good. Thanks for letting us all know. Nice. All right. It's nice to see you checking in. Just saying a little about where you are. Some of the weather reports or state of the light on the weather or the temperature. Oh, Lean, you're in Pondicherry. Okay, nice. All right. Here I was just out walking with the dog a little before coming in to sit, and you can see the sky in bands of pink and grey outside my window. Cold and clear, and birdsong beginning just the last few days. And just the sort of avant-goût of springtime, pre-taste of brighter, warmer days, and the kind of the magnificent effulgence of the spring after the rest and the dark and the inwardness of winter. Almond blossoms and for Ruth. Yeah. And then I'm aware some of you are in very different climates or hemispheres, Melbourne, different vibes as you come into late summer, etc. All right. So here we are, friends. Another day just to lean into this ordinary moment. Just being here, body like this, mind like this, and the opportunity to orientate towards this moment, any moment, every moment, in this sort of seemingly paradoxical way in which this moment is both just ordinary moment, not trying to make it anything special, just meeting it as it is. Just meeting it with just very simple sense of presence, openness, undefendedness, like we spoke about yesterday. And at the same time, the way this moment is anything but ordinary, even if the circumstances seem familiar or ordinary to us, the way this moment is kind of alive with never before happenedness, complete miraculousness, total ungraspableness, inconceivableness. Ordinary moment, boundless moment. Familiar moment, incomprehensible moment. All at the same time. So, we've been looking at fear and fearlessness in different ways this week. We spoke a little earlier in the week about the difference between that sort of a completely natural survival response, the adrenalized survival response, right, which is natural and actually important. We wouldn't survive moments of danger without it. Step into the road, see a car coming, the adrenalized response that makes you jump quickly out of the way. And we call that fear, but that's not what we're really talking about when we're talking about fear and fearlessness. That, I would say, is an adrenalized survival response. And it has the flavor of fear, but it's a survival mechanism. It doesn't have emotional and psychological complexity to it, right? The emotional and psychological complexity comes from the habit of fear, the defensive, insecure, anxious, obsessive relationship we get into, where I'm afraid of this or that. I'm afraid mostly of spectres, right, of ghosts, of things that might happen. And that's very speculative. and it's painful, and it's unnecessary, and it's fulfilling a familiar ego habit. Even though we say, oh, I don't want to be afraid, I want to move beyond fear, get rid of fear, dissolve fear, transcend fear, something. If we look carefully, there's something weirdly, even though it's very uncomfortable, there's something familiar about fear that gives us a sense of ego security. Oh, I've got a problem. I've got something to worry about, something to be afraid of. I know how to orientate to that. Just take away anything, nothing to fear, nothing to fear. It's like, I don't know. For somebody who's very used to orientating towards fear, it's like it can be disorientating, and it's just a hard truth to face, right? That I'm in some way dependent upon, identified with, orientated around my fearful responses, fearful habits. Anyway, reminded me this week, talking about fear reminded me of when a dear friend of mine, also a Dharma teacher, was hosting a famous Tibetan teacher, a very sort of revered teacher from Tibet who'd come to San Francisco to teach, come there for the first time. And my friend, who's a very keen swimmer, used to swim from Alcatraz back to the city, San Francisco, which is a long way, with really strong Pacific currents, full of sea lions and, it sounds cute, seals, enormous great things, and very cold water. Anyway, so my friend realized this famous Tibetan teacher had never, ever been swimming. So he said, oh, look, Rinpoche, let me take you swimming. Rinpoche was a little reluctant, but anyway, they went to the local swimming pool. Got this sort of Rinpoche who's used to looking rather impressive in their long red robes, and presumably looks a little different and more vulnerable in their little swimming trunks. Right? My friend succeeds in getting Rinpoche into the water. Rinpoche is a little ill at ease, right? Never been swimming before, and the water to a body not used to being on water can set up that kind of adrenalized survival response. It's like, oh, we sense there's something dangerous here. Anyway, Rinpoche was game, wanted to. So he went for full immersion. He held his nose and ducked under the water for a couple of seconds. And then he popped up out of the water like this. Fear, 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 fear. And he came out of the water just saying fear, 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 fear. So interesting, right? What was happening? Just noticing, oh, right, this is that adrenalized survival response. Not actually, not fighting it, not imagining it shouldn't happen, not being ashamed of it, not having weird ideas where a free mind cannot experience fear in that form, but just popping up and reporting it to my friend. Wow, fear, 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 fear. Of course, fear is what's flooding the system. Adrenalized survival response. And so there's something that I like about that anecdote. One, that it's counterintuitive. We might see for yourself, but you might have some ideas of some accomplished meditative person of retaining some kind of calm where there's no room for an adrenalized survival response. And that's a little weird as a view, right? Because there's a lot of life. The freer we get, the more room there is for life to course through us in all kinds of various forms and flavors. And then also because it's an example, right, of a very undefended relationship with experience. Right? Connected and undefended. Wow, this is what's happening. Fear, fear, fear. Connected and undefended. Without ideas of what should and shouldn't be happening. That's the invitation, right, of our practice. Every day when we sit every day when we come together. Right? Connected, undefended, contactful, curious, open. What is this? Caring, holding it all lightly, loosely, lovingly. No thought that shouldn't arise, no feeling that shouldn't happen, no experience that we're trying to push away. That's the invitation of fearlessness. So, friends, please take your seat. We sit together in meditation. Posture and presence. The ordinary experience of a sitting body, with its dance of sensations, with the tide of breathing, and letting the field of bodily experience fill up with presence, with contact, with receptivity. As if each cell is waking up. As if each cell is conscious, luminous, as if each cell is participating in breathing, lighting up with each in-breath, relaxing with each out-breath, and becoming perfectly still just for a moment in that gap between breaths. I am cultivating this simple and yet profound art, being contactful with experience, opening to what's here, relaxing into presence. Tasting a kind of ease and pleasure of being undefended. If that starts to happen, sometimes we feel kind of transparent, as if everything can pass through and be known and be tasted and be welcomed, but nothing need get stuck. Nothing need create drama. Nothing need become a source of tension or resistance. Everything can flow through awareness, like breathing flows, like sounds flow, like sensations flow. Each moment an arising and a passing. Each moment a free expression. Ordinary moment, boundless moment. If mind is wandering or dull, agitated or doubtful, obsessive, don't fight with that mind. What would it be like to meditate without any fight, without any judgment, without any blame, without measuring and being frustrated or disappointed in your practice? Just gently resetting, just arriving again and again where you already are. Just making room for this breath, or this sound, this sensation, this thought, whatever stands out to you in the moment. Making room as if your mind is vast, wide open, has plenty of room for whatever comes and goes. As if your mind is vast, edgeless. As if all experience is just flecks of dust dancing in the sunlight of this vast open awareness. As if there's no problem, nothing to fix or manage, nothing to defend against. As if the texture of this vast open mind is one of peace, depth, openness, love, ease. vast awareness, flickering momentary experience. Last few minutes of the sitting. You might just a little more purposefully sense into this quality of vastness, an open, edgeless awareness. And seeing of how you can sense into your mindscape, and sensing outwards. And sensing the way consciousness doesn't really have any edges. Open, inclusive, spacious by its nature. May we recognize and rest into this spaciousness. May our life be informed by a vast, open, undefended attitude. Oui, hello? Oui, mais là, il y aura personne en ce moment-là, mais il y a un portail rouillé sur la droite. Vous pouvez le glisser et laisser les colis juste à l'intérieur sur le parking si possible. Oui, oui, ouais, voilà. Vous laissez juste devant les conteneurs et le tas de gravier et tout ce qui est là. 23 05 70. 23. C'est ça. Merci, monsieur. Merci. Bonne journée. All right. Sorry about that. That wasn't exactly George Moulin delivery that I had to take and respond to. Nobody else. I could see the truck coming down the road, and the guy was calling me during the meditation. I thought, well, let's just wait till the end, and he called back. All right. Life is like this. Plenty of room for whatever arises. So, little room for questions that might be there. If there's things from the meditation or the theme that you'd like to just give a little air or inquiry to, then please feel free. Ah, that's a great photo, Laurence. Oh, that's nice. Ah, that's great. That's great. Let me just have a look at that. That's great. All right. Oops. Have I? Oh no, I'm still on the page. Yes, and before we get into the questions, just a very brief reminder that all this functions on dana. Dana means generosity, support, appreciation, mutuality, that sense that we share with each other, that we care for each other, that we support each other. And so rather than selling the teachings, as it were, or making any kind of subscription model, we do it like this. It's like, oh, it's freely available. Pasiko, like Buddha says, just come and see, come and explore. And so that sense, we want to support you the best we can. And in return, we ask you, whatever your situation is, to please support us the best you can in whatever way, and to whatever extent. So there's just the usual link if you'd like to offer dana, if you're able to offer dana. It supports the platform, supports me as the teacher this week, and really it supports the fact that this can continue, and therefore that anyone and everyone else that ever comes, it's like you become part of that offering network. Everybody who will ever sit with Sangha Live will do so in part because of your offering. Now that's what your offering is. It's the contribution to this. If the offerings that are there just dropped, that would be it. If you didn't offer, I don't mean you personally, but collectively, it's literally, that's what makes it happen. We offer to each other, and that's how this can continue. So I think that's a beautiful thing to consider. Even if you're offering a very small amount, you offer €1 even. Right? It's the same thing. You offer into that dynamic. You offer into that field of sharing. So if you're able to offer an amount that seems very small to you, your circumstances are like that maybe. Don't focus on the smallness. Focus on the goodness of the offering, the intention of the heart that you're offering into that field of support. So thank you. Thank you for that. All right. Sabine says, it's easier to write in front. J'ai un grave accident de voiture. Yes, I know, Sabine. So I had a bad accident, a car accident 9 months ago, and I'm still not driving again. I've done EMDR sessions because I'm still afraid when I'm in the car, on a hill. Is there a practice to help the process? Yes, but it's hard to say how, Sabine. Maybe we'll see each other one of these days. Sabine lives locally here. I would say probably having somebody in the car with you, will probably be reassuring at first. And the thing is, I would say one of the ways that it can most help you is to really get used to being in the car, maybe without even moving. You're just sitting in the car, sit in the driving seat, and bodily awareness and noticing where you're tense, you know, and just relaxing. And this is without it moving. You're not starting the engine, you're just sitting, feeling, relaxing, sitting, feeling, relaxing, and get used to that. Then you drive in a very, easy place, no hills, no drama, no traffic. Just and again, you just sense, and you get used to sensing where you get adrenalized, where fear arises, and just meeting that with, firstly, the intention to relax, and secondly, a lot of kindness. Like, you want to meet that fear, right? The kind of trauma residue of the intense accident that you had. You need to meet it with a lot of calmness, and so you get used to the process of feeling the fear arising and caring for it, and get used to the caring being enough to de-escalate it. Right? Don't wait till you're on a hill and the fear is intense. It's too late to try and de-escalate it when it's become intense and overwhelming. Right? So I would suggest that kind of very gradual, without moving, or without even the engine on. Just how's it to sit in the car, just sensing, tracking through where there's areas of tension or alarm. Right? And then start the engine, do it again, and simple drive, etc., etc. So you build up, and before going on like the same stretch of road or a similar stretch of road to where the accident happened, like I say, you might want to have somebody be with you in the car for some additional kind of reassurance, grounding, etc. Okay. What else? Something about breakfast. Good. Enjoy. You often eat my breakfast during the meditation. All right. I don't see any other questions, so maybe we'll stop here and I'll go and take delivery of whatever it is. We're doing a lot of building work here at the Moulin. We've made a big underground vegetable cellar this winter, and we've made 3 new retreat cabins, which are very beautiful. And what else? We've made a new structure on the island for a kind of shelter structure, which is quite beautiful as well. And we've done some landscaping and planting of the path along the canal. So there's been a lot going on. We've got a few friends here working together, and diggers, and we've made a big muddy mess everywhere as we've done all that stuff, digging big holes and paths. And now we're just in the process of starting to kind of get back into some order. And another month or so, and the team will be here, and then the retreat program will start up again. So yeah. Check out the retreat program at the Moulin if you're interested. There are retreats here from early April all the way on through the season. Some in French, some in English, some with me, some with others, etc. So friends, here's wishing you a spacious day, an undefended day. Yeah, very much appreciate your presence here and your practice and all the kindnesses you express to each other in the chat. It's beautiful. On the one hand, to be sort of names on screens to each other, and yet on the other hand, to have such a tangible sense of community, such a tangible sense of support, such a tangible meta field, field of friendliness, care for one another. Beautiful. All right. See you tomorrow. Thank you.